it's Jennifer with Jennifer at Home, and I'm super excited you came to join me today because I am taking on a challenge from another YouTuber, and I can't wait to show you what it is. I was super excited to take on this challenge. Grandma Sandy from Grandma Sandy's channel and her daughter Debbie have challenged me in this brunch challenge, and they came to the right person because I truly love brunch. I love putting together brunch any chance I get, and I'm going to put together a Saturday brunch for myself and a few of my friends from church. It's great to get together during the holiday season, but we can all be so busy. So why not have a brunch this Saturday right away before the season gets any busier? I'll put together just some really super easy, fun, simple things for us to do. And I'm also going to include a game. I never have friends over without including some kind of a game that I've made up myself. Let me get started on this wonderful food, and then I'll tell you about the game. Every brunch needs something sweet, so I'm going to be making some French toast cups, and these French toast cups are delicious. They are like a big cupcake made of French toast, and you can put anything on the top. They come with the crumble already, so we'll be putting a crumble on top of ours, but then you can add anything you'd like. Powdered sugar, or you can add syrup or jam or jelly, and it just is scrumptious. So I can't wait. Let me show you this recipe now, just how easy it is. Okay, now let's take a look at the ingredients we need to make these wonderful French toast cups. We need 6 cups of stale bread of any kind. You can use buns, French bread. I just took some sandwich bread and tore it up into little crumbs. We need 2 teaspoons of vanilla, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 5 eggs, and 1.5 cups of milk. I'm going to use half and half because that's just what I had on hand. Alright, let's get started with this recipe. The first thing we're going to do is put in the eggs, the 5 eggs, the 1.5 cups of milk, or half and half in my case. We're going to add the vanilla, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We're going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of sugar. We're just going to whisk these up. This is almost like making a bread custard, like a bread pudding, if you've ever made anything like that. I have a video at the end of this video that will have bread pudding, so you can make that if you like these type of dishes. It's super easy and super delicious. Now that I have everything mixed in, I'm going to fold in the breadcrumbs. So this is 6 cups of stale bread cubes, and I'm going to use this super cute little Christmas spatula to fold this in. Just fold it until everything is completely coated. And the bread will start soaking up this wonderful custard style syrup that's in here. And you can see how that's looking. It's just looking like a wonderful bread custard. So just keep stirring that in. And at this time, if you'd like, you could add some raisins or anything like that that you would like to add. Now, I think the easiest way to get this divided into the containers is just to use a measuring cup. So I'm just going to use a 1 cup measuring cup. And this recipe is normally for cupcake size, but I had these cute little pie dishes. So I've greased the pie dishes and sprayed them. And I'm just going to use these little ceramic pie dishes, and then I can decide if I want to serve them in the pie dishes or if I want to just pop them out and put them on a cute little plate. So just divide the mixture up in whatever you decide to use and try to get it as even as possible. And now it's time to make the crumb topping. So we're going to take a 1/4 cup of butter, which is 4 tablespoons, and we want to make sure this is really cold because if it's not cold, it'll turn into a paste, and we want it to be a crumble. And then we'll need 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and this is light brown sugar. It'll work really great in this crumble. And we'll need a 1/4 cup of flour. This is just all-purpose flour, and a pinch of salt. Now we'll just put it in the food processor, and you can also use a pastry blender or a fork for this. And this is a pastry blender. I know so many people that have never seen one of these, and they aren't really sure what it is. In fact, my husband's friend, we showed him this pastry blender and asked him if he knew what type of tool this was used for. And he had no idea. He thought it was something for the garage, and he couldn't figure out what it must be. But you just put all the ingredients in a bowl, and then you go like this and just cut through the butter with this pastry blender, and it crumbles it up and makes a really nice crumble, and it's great for pie crust. So that's what a pastry blender is if you have never seen one, or you could also use a fork. Okay, I'm just going to start pulsing this until it gets nice and crumbly. Okay, and here's how it looks. It looks nice and crumbly, just how we were hoping. I'm going to go ahead and pour this in a bowl so we can evenly distribute this on top of these French toast cups. We don't want anybody to be shorted. Just sprinkle this on. There we go. We'll try and get it as even as we can. And I have my oven preheating at 350. Okay, here's what we have. It's time to bake these in the oven. I am also going to be serving my guests a crustless quiche, a quiche with no crust. It's super easy to make and super easy to bake. Alright, and now on to the crustless quiche. So I'm going to be putting my quiche in these little silicone baking cups. These are made to have little bundt cakes in them, but I'm going to use these for my crustless quiche. If I use a crust, I think it may be heavy and seem more like a dessert, and I already have a really sizable dessert. So I have sprayed these little cups with a baking spray, and I'm going to just take 5 eggs. I have those here. I'm going to add in some garlic powder, just a nice sprinkle, probably maybe 1/4 teaspoon. And then I'm going to add a sprinkle of onion powder. I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, or half and half, whatever you have on hand. I'm going to use half and half, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix these up together with a fork. Now that I have the eggs all whipped up with the cream, I'm going to add in some sausage. This is about 1/2 cup of cooked sausage, and you could add anything you like. You could add bacon, or you could even do it without meat. So I'm going to add the sausage and mix that in. And then I'm going to add about 1 onion with the white and the green. This will give it some really pretty color and some extra flavor. So I'm going to mix that in. Now there's only one ingredient. We need some cheese. Now we're just going to add about 3/4 to a cup, however much you like, of any type of cheese. I just have a Mexican cheese blend here, which gives it a really good flavor, and it always turns out a really pretty color. So mix that in. I ended up adding about 1 cup of cheese. So you can see it starts to get really thick with all of the ingredients, and now it's time to put it into the baking cups. I'm just going to use this measuring cup and scoop out about 1/2 cup and start filling these baking molds. Make sure you keep it stirred so that you can get a nice even amount of all of the ingredients in all of the cups. And try to get them as level as you can with each other, so that way they'll all bake evenly and bake just about the same. Okay, all the little mini quiches are in their little cups. Now it's time to bake these in the oven at 350 until they're set. The tops will get a little bit brown, and then we'll know that they're done. Okay, the oven is preheated to 350. Now it's time to put in our dessert. And I'm gonna put the quiche in right in the top. There we have it, just that easy. Okay, now that we have the dessert and the main course in the oven, let's get on to making some mini cheese balls. And here are the things we're going to use to make our mini cheese balls. I have some real bacon bits, some grated Parmesan cheese, some garlic powder, onion powder, shredded cheese, chopped pecans, some ranch salad dressing seasoning mix, some chopped green onions, and some chopped lunch meat ham. Okay, the first thing I did was set out a block of cream cheese just a little while ago to make sure that it was at room temperature. At room temperature, it makes it much easier to work with than if it's too cold and too hard. So I have 1 block of cream cheese, and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of the ranch seasoning mix. I usually add about 1 tablespoon per block of cream cheese. Then I'll just get this all mixed up, and we'll start rolling it into the balls. And this is how the ranch cream cheese looks once it's all mixed together. Okay, and now I have the second block of room temperature cream cheese. I'm going to start by adding in some garlic powder, probably about 1/2 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to add some onion powder. Then I'm going to go ahead and mix these up. I just like to use a big spoon because then I can just start pressing the spoon and it really starts to do well to mix everything up. I always like to add the dry seasonings first and mix those in before I start adding larger extra items, because that way you can guarantee that all of the dry seasoning is mixed in really well. Once you add other things like the ham or the onions, it's really hard to tell if you have the dry seasonings mixed in. And the last thing you want is for somebody to take a bite of pure garlic powder or onion powder, or even ranch dressing for that matter. Now I'm going to add the green onion and the ham, and I'll just mix these in. Okay, now that we're all done mixing this cheese ball, it's time to start putting the cheese balls into balls. The next thing to do is just to take my scoop, or you could just use a regular spoon, and I'm going to use this scoop and scoop this cheese ball, and I'm going to drop it right into the pecans. Then I'll just cover it completely with the chopped pecans. And you can roll it around a little bit, or just take the pecans or the toppings and just press them right on. Just like that. And try to keep it in a nice little shape of a ball. Just like that. Now I'll just keep moving along with all of the other. So this one's going to be a bacon ranch. You can pick it up and press it right into the bacon bits or the toppings, and then just roll it around. So there we have it. This is a bacon ranch. And here we have the Parmesan cheese, which is like a nice little snowball. And here's how the French toast cups look fresh from the oven. They smell wonderful and they look beautiful. I have taken the crustless quiche out of the oven with my cute little oven mitt from Dollar Tree. And if you want to be able to see if your crustless quiche are done, all you have to do is tap on them and press on them a little bit, and you can see when they bounce back, that means they're done. Okay, let me show you how my Saturday brunch turned out. I'm going to be serving a cranberry ginger ale today. It's in the refrigerator. I want to keep it nice and cold. And I have a couple different kinds of crackers for my mini cheese ball Christmas tree. I have the crustless quiche and the French toast cups. Everything looks and smells wonderful. I really hope my friends are going to enjoy it. If you've seen any of my videos, you probably know by now that no one can come over to my house for a party or get together or any type of gathering without being expected to play one of the games that I have made up. So today with my friends, I've gone and done a little bit of snooping and a little bit of investigating and come up with some good facts about each one of them. So I'm going to put those together in a list, and then I'm going to name them off. And my guest will have to choose which person that statement belongs to. Maybe it'll be something about, have they ever ridden an equestrian horse? Who won a medal in swimming in the 5th grade? All of these questions everybody will have to guess, and the person that gets the most right will be the very first person to pick the first gift in our gift exchange. So we can never have a get-together without me coming up with a game to play. It always makes brunch or any get-together that much more fun and that much more exciting. I've also made a garden salad with some dried cranberries and some chopped pecans. I also made a cranberry vinaigrette to go on the salad. And I have a little gift for each of my friends to take home, some peppermint candies and a coordinating little ornament. I really had a fun time doing this challenge, so thank you Grandma Sandy and Debbie for inviting me to participate in this challenge. It was really a great idea and it was so much fun. And I'll have the link to Grandma Sandy's channel right underneath so you can just check that out. And that way if you want to go over and visit her channel, I'm sure she would be glad to have you. And be sure to tell her that I sent you over there so you can see all of her beautiful decorating and all of the really fun things that she does this holiday season. Be sure to stay to the end of this video. At the end of this video, I'll have 2 more videos coming up with super easy recipes that you could use for brunch or just for an easy, quick meal during the busy holiday season. All you have to do to watch the videos is just click on them. I truly appreciate you being here today. It was so great having you, and I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit the like button. I really hope this has inspired you to put together a quick and easy, happy little brunch for yourself or your family members, or even just a few friends during the busy holiday season. We can all use a break sometime. Just taking a little break and getting together with friends is always a great idea. I hope to see you next time.